Change is never easy, but we realize that we all have a job to do. And that job is evaluated each and every day. I told the team this. I met with all the staff, and that we have a personal relationship with Jon, everybody here in some capacity. And so our personal feelings aren't what's important. What's important is that we respect and understand the decision, and that we move forward aligned.
Are you going to have more control in personnel decisions?
Ryan Cowden and I will continue to communicate in that process as we get down the stretch of trying to figure out the active roster, the players that are looking to return from injury. We've made a couple moves here. It's late in the season, so it's usually some guys from somebody's practice squad. So that process isn't going to change.
Mike Vrabel, plenty of words. Not a lot of light shined on what happened with Jon Robinson. Look, I continue to maintain. Power struggle, Vrabel won.
Yeah.
A.J.
Like
Brown,
that. Right.
catalyst. Because, Chris, they've done nothing to put out any other story. There's been no effort to push back against those of us who would say, well, they didn't see eye to eye. Mike Vrabel's won enough games that he's got the juice now. And between Julio Jones, because I don't know what other disagreements they've had, but I guarantee you Mike Vrabel didn't want Julio Jones in Tennessee. Right. That wasn't his call, as evidenced by the fact that he was nowhere to be seen or heard from when they made that trade. And he was vindicated. A.J. Brown, we know, we have the visual evidence, clear and obvious, that Mike Vrabel was not happy that A.J. Brown was traded. And on Sunday, he was vindicated. Chris, I think it's as simple as they get their asses kicked by A.J. Brown and the Eagles on Sunday. On Monday, Amy Adams Strunk decides Jon Robinson's got to go, but I'll sleep on it. And she did. And Tuesday morning, Jon Robinson went. And there has been nothing, no effort whatsoever by the Titans to tell anyone who may be saying that they're off base. So we're on base. We are right on the money. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. More often than not, the simplest explanation is the right one. And the simplest explanation here is Vrabel versus Robinson. Vrabel 1, Robinson 0.
It seems like that, at just base level. It looks like that. And, we connect dots with things we know, we hear in the NFL. Yeah, I don't know exactly how this went down. I've tried to poke and prod a little bit. But, I'm with you. And the fact that they have not really put anything out to say no or push back against anything so far, that would make me believe that people like us are on the right track. And I don't doubt what you're saying isn't true either, Mike. I just think it might have been the launching point here of we let that guy go. Did you see what he did to us today? We couldn't cover him. We had people all over him. It didn't even matter. I'm sure, let alone something I said yesterday. And, again, we don't get to see these teams in person sometimes. Philadelphia, just watching that game on film on Tuesday morning, I guess I viewed Tennessee a little differently, right, without seeing them in person. I thought that Tennessee had a lot of big, strong freaks across the roster and was a big football team. Woo! You could say he went to Amy Adams Strunk and went, hey, look at A.J. Brown. I think there's a possibility he went were you on the field pregame? Did you see the Eagles and did you see us? Because on film, there was a huge distinction. Is that what I want to say there? I don't even know if that's
Disparity,
right.
distinction.
Disparity is the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. Yeah. Between the look of the Titans and the Eagles. And I know I'm not seeing things because I even talked to Tony Dungy about this too. I was like, have you watched this, that game? And he was like, yeah, it jumped out to me how much bigger the Eagles were. I didn't think they were that much bigger than the Titans. So there might be a few things there as far as the team and moves that, go on. But those are the things that have crossed my mind here as we figure this out a little bit.
I don't know if Mike Vrabel meets with Amy Adams Strunk after every game. Some owners want to have that debriefing or whatever. But the Monday meeting could have been as simple as, you want to know why we lost 35-10? Number 11 in green. You take number 11 in green and you put number 11 in white, and it's a different outcome altogether because he did this to us, and he should have been with us, not against us. And yeah, oh, by the way, remember back in April when I did this? That that's the clue, and I think that's the basic truth. And if I'm a Titans fan, I feel good about this because if there was dysfunction, now it's gone. And Vrabel has proven, just like Bill Belichick did once upon a time, although Belichick won a Super Bowl, fairly early in his run, but Vrabel has proven he's a good enough coach that you should be able to trust him with these personnel decisions, or at least his instincts or his preferences. Someone else has to be grinding away on the scouting and the information and the research. Vrabel doesn't have time to do all that. You got people you can trust who are doing that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when it's time to process the information, I think Vrabel's got the right instincts to know.
Agreed.
This guy, not this guy. That guy, not that guy.
Yeah.
Once he gathers the information and absorbs it after someone else has collected it all, I would trust Vrabel to do that, and it looks like that's what the Titans are going to do. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.